from London, all the way from London, United Kingdom, to Lagos, Nigeria, and he's here with us, live, flesh, body, and soul, in person of Mr. Kunle Adeyanju. A round of applause once again. A round of applause once again as he joins us here live in Offa. Thank you very much. All right, let's get seated, please, so that we can commence the program of the day. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ربي اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Please, I implore you all, may we all rise as we recite the national anthem so that we can have the program of the day. May we all rise in our feet, please. On the count of 3, 1, 2, and 3. Arise, O compatriots, Nigeria's follow me, to serve our father's land, with love and strength and faith. The labor of our heroes past shall never be in vain. To serve with trust and might, one nation bound in freedom, peace and unity. Let us recite the pledge, please. I pledge to Nigeria, my country, to be faithful, loyal, and honest, and Nigeria to the unity, and uphold our honor and glory. So we are. Thank you very much. To our guests in the building this afternoon, this is an opportunity to welcome you to this great citadel of learning, Summit University of Kwara State, Nigeria. Is highly pleased to host each and every one of you this afternoon. Before we move on this afternoon, I want the Amir of the Muslim Society of Nigeria, of a branch, to please come and give us the opening prayer. Please, those at the back, please feel free to come inside and have your seats. Please, those at the back, feel free to come inside and have your seats, please.
صلوا على النبي الكريم صلوا على النبي المصطفى أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا صراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون والسلام على المرسلين الحمد لله رب العالمين.
Jazakumullah khairan. Thank you very much for that short but powerful prayer. Please, ladies and gentlemen, once again, we'll need you all to please, let's keep calm in the hall so that we can hear one another. Thank you very much. We are in one of the widest known cities across the globe today, and that is Offa town. And it behoves of us to equally recognize the town we find ourselves at this meetings. So I'll call on Sonia to please come to the podium and let's honor the town we're staying or we're leaving at this moment and coming out to help recite the Offa anthem. Please, decorum please. Decorum please. Decorum please. Please, for those that knows the Offa anthem, I will implore you all to please let's sing along with her. Thank you very much. Everybody, please rise on your feet. Thank you very much, Sonia. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Please, let's have our seats. For those coming into the back door, please come inside and have your seats. Thank you very much. Deborah, please. Moving on is the introduction of the guests we have amongst us today. And the first thing I will recognize is God. Someone individual who is pioneering the affairs of Summit University of Kwara State, Nigeria, and person of Professor Abiodun Musa Aibinu, who is the Vice Chancellor of Summit University of Kwara State, Nigeria. It's a round of applause for him, please. He's a man who is taller than his height and larger than his frame. Moving on, we have the acting registrar of the institution, Summit University of Kwara State, Nigeria, and person of Malam Mustafa Kadir. Seated to his left, we have the acting boss of the institution, Summit University of Kwara, in person of Mr. Lukman of the Bursary Unit, Summit University of Kwara State, Nigeria. It blows of each and every one of us to equally recognize the presence of the man himself, the man of the moment, the lion heart, the man who has seized every opportunity from morning till night, that has driven all the way from London, United Kingdom, to Lagos, Nigeria, and South Coast, fresh money and soul, in a fine person of Mr. Kunle Adeyanju, the lion heart. A round of applause for him once again. The fifth person I'll be introducing next is Al-Haji Abdulli Abdurazak. Al-Haji Abdulli Abdurazak. In his absence, please give him a round of applause. Moving on, we have Chief Larry Shitu with the Secretary of Parent Forum, Summit University of Kwara State, Nigeria, and he called the Chartered President of Rotary Club. We have amongst us Rotary Abibu Olagoke, the President, Rotary Club of Offa. Please, we want you on the high table. Thank you very much. We want to seize this opportunity to recognize the presence of our students, particularly the person championing Summit University Aviation Club, SWAC, in person of Fatima Muhammad Bashir. Please stand up for recognition. Thank you very much. To the high table, please. We have with us in the auditorium as well one of Summit University proud products in person of Nafisa Bello, adding the subsider Summit University of Offa. I want to seize this opportunity to recognize the presence of the MD Village Kitchen in person of Engineer Tiami Tagidi or Lalikon. Please, if you have with us, please, to the high table, please. Thank you very much. With the permission of the Vice Chancellor, in person of Professor Adeyanju, we'll be giving a brief about the citadel of learning itself, Summit University of Offa. And the man to help us do that is the acting rector of Summit University in person of Malam Mustafa Kadir. Thank you very much.
The Vice Chancellor of Summit University of Professor Abiodun Musa Aibinu, our distinguished guest, Mr. Kunle Adeyanju, all members of the high table, highly distinguished members of the high table, our distinguished guests, staff of Summit University present, and students of Summit University of Offa. Good evening, everyone. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I'm here to give a brief introduction about Summit University of Offa. Summit University of Offa, Kwara State, Nigeria, was established by Ansarudeen Society of Nigeria. Ansarudeen Society of Nigeria is a society, one of the oldest and the biggest in the country. It was established on 21st December 1923. That means the society is 99 years old, and it is going to be a centenary old by next year, inshallah. The society is well known for establishing educational institutions. During the course, the long history of Ansarudeen Society of Nigeria, it was able to establish over 200 primary schools all over the country, over 60 secondary schools. The society also established College of Education in Lagos. And when the federal government allowed private organizations to establish private universities, the society took up the challenge and set up a private university, and that is Summit University of Offa. The university was licensed by the National University Commission to operate as a private university precisely on the 5th of March 2015. The university commenced academic activities on March 6, 2017. And that is under the able leadership of the pioneer Vice Chancellor, who I'm very happy to mention is from this town, Professor Hussein Oyedola Bukoye Oloyede. Professor Bukoye Oloyede is a foremost biochemist, a scientist of international repute, and administrator par excellence. Professor Oloyede was former Vice Chancellor of Fountain University, Osogbo. The university commenced academic activities, and it obtained its full operational license just few years after commencing operation. That is in 2019, April 1st precisely. Presently, this university is headed by Professor Adeyanju Musa Aibinu as the second substantive Vice Chancellor. Professor Adeyanju Musa Aibinu is a foremost professor of mechatronics, robotics, and artificial intelligence. He is well known all over the world as an expert and consultant in these fields. Professor Musa Aibinu assumed duty precisely on April 1st, 2022. The university has approval for about 17 programs, mainly the College of Management and Social Sciences, the College of Management and Social Sciences, and of course the College of Humanities. I am delighted to inform you that Summit University of Offa has full accreditation for all the programs it is running currently. The university has attracted very, very capable, competent, and diligent academic and non-academic staff. And the university has a thriving student population. The university has organized several matriculation ceremonies and has graduated 2 sets of students. I want to also stress that the university, having commenced academic activities in March 2017, was able to graduate the first set in record time. And I'm proud to tell you that these sets have gone for national service and they have completed their national service. The second set of students admitted to study at Summit University have also graduated and they are currently enrolled for the National Youth Service. These are just some of the achievements of the university. The university has been growing in terms of infrastructural development and a lot of other supports. The Vice Chancellor, I must say, has the vision to take this university to a very, very high position in the nearest future. And that is why the Vice Chancellor has instituted the 7 agenda, the 7 points to drive the ambition, aspiration, and dream of the university. The university is proud to associate with Mr. Kunle Adeyanju, the Rotary Club, and all other organizations that are interested in education. Summit University Offa. Also, although owned by the Ansarudeen Society of Nigeria, is open to partners from the community. The university has developed very, very strong relationship with the Offa community. And I am proud that one of our students has rendered the Offa anthem beautifully this evening. The university in the next few years will bring up programs, a lot of programs, a lot of training, skill acquisition, which the community, Kwara State, and indeed Nigeria will benefit from. So I want to use this occasion to invite people, members of this community, friends of the Summit University, to enroll their children in most of our programs, And I wish you the best of luck as you do so. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. The acting registrar, Summit University of Kwara State, Nigeria, the person of Madam Mustafa Kader. Our equal says this opportunity to introduce some of our students. But before doing that, I want to recognize the presence of the mother to the hero of our time, in person of Alhaja Kunle Adeyanju. A round of applause, please. Allahu Akbar. The father, the enigma himself, that helped brought to life the hero of our time, in person of Alhaji Abdulrazak Abioye, who is the father to Mr. Kunle Adeyanju. A round of applause, please. Sitting on his left is Alhaja Nike Riskat Adebayo, who is the sister to Mr. Kunle Adeyanju. Hand of recognition, please. Thank you very much. We equally have in our presence representative of the Offa, the Descendant Union of North America, in person of Dr. S.B. Oyewole. Thank you very much for joining us this afternoon. I'll be calling on Nafisa Bello and Fatima Muhammad Bashir, both who are representatives of the Summit University Aviation Club and also the some side of Summit University of Offa to please step forward and give us their own speech. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Fatima Muhammad Bashir. I'm a student here in Summit University of Kwara State, Nigeria. I'm 200 left microbiology department. Summit University Aviation Club was inaugurated recently, June 1st, after we students meet the Vice Chancellor on our interest after the 2 weeks training of drone building and piloting 1, which we are expecting for drone building and piloting 2 to be very soon. Summit University Aviation Club have great opportunities which have achieved through the Vice Chancellor. Is it the meeting from Mr. Habib Oladeko, Mr. Dr. Ismail, many more that meet through the Vice Chancellor at this great opportunity. Thank you very much, sir, and welcome you to Summit University. And we wish to have partnership with you, sir. Welcome, sir. Thank you very much.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Communication is seen as a key in every part of the world, such as English language. Wherever we go to, we find ourselves speaking English language, which is seen as part of what people study today and part of what we speak. All existing protocols duly observed. SUMSIDA came on board on the 2nd of June 2022 to enhance students in Scrabble, public speaking, debate, and interaction. In light of this, the club is conceived and the model is saddled with the responsibility of effective word usage, which starts from building diction through Scrabble, applying diction to effective writing, and accentuating the skills in public speaking. With the help of some students who would help in facilitating the club, with the help of professionals in the field. Without much further ado, we would like to seek the approval of the Vice Chancellor to make Mr. Kunle Adeyanju the Supreme Advisor.
Thank you very much, Fatima Muhammad Bashir and Nafisa Bello, both who have actually requested that we have Summit University here, Mr. Kunle Adeyanju, as the Supreme Ambassador of the Summit University Aviation Club and Summit University. Moving on, we'll be having the citation of Mr. Kunle Adeyanju himself. For a man who has traveled far and wide, I dare not ask you to be on your feet. I know how far you traveled, but please, I really appreciate you doing us this honor. Rotarian Kunle Adeyanju had his nursery, primary and secondary education in Kano, and his university education at Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria. While in ABU, he served as the financial secretary, Ahmadu Bello University Zaria Students Union Government. Also, he was a member of Rotary Club of ABU, Zaria Main Campus, where he held various positions like Public City Director, Club Service Director, and Vice President. He commenced his working career as a management trainee with British American Tobacco Nigeria, where he occupied various positions, with his last role being marketing manager at Kano region, with responsibility for Kano, Kaduna, Jigawa, and Katsina states. He took a turn in his career in mid-2004 into the oil and gas sector, when he took up the position of head of marketing Ohando Gas and Power between 2004 to 2006, where he held a team for the development and expansion of the Greater Lagos Industrial Area Natural Gas Pipeline Network. In 2006, he proceeded to join Shell Petroleum as fuels and bitumen manager, and then moved to occupy other roles in Shell, such as a contract holder, which is land logistics, dedicated contract lead, also logistics, logistics strategic project and assurance lead, and strategic and tactical contract lead. Rotarian Kunle furthered his career outside Shell in 2019 to set up Pelican's D&O Venture Capital, where he currently occupies the role of the Chief Operating Officer. He is widely traveled and has visited over 70 countries around the world. He holds an MBA degree and is presently a student at the University of Arizona for his PhD in Business Administration with specialization in social entrepreneurship. Some of the awards conferred on Kunle are: 1. International Olympic Committee Award of Exceptional Leadership. 2. Award of Excellence, Rotary District 9130. Award of Distinguished Rotarian, Rotary District 9110. Rotarian of the Year 2008, Rotary District 9110 Teachers Award. Furthermore, he is a Rotarian with a big heart, who loves adventure, and his hobbies are reading, swimming, cycling, and mountain climbing. He has skydived, bungee jumped, and circled Lagos, Ghana, and Lagos altogether. In 2008, he became the first Nigerian to fly the Nigerian flag at the highest peak in Africa, Uhuru Peak, Mount Kilimanjaro, and the first Rotarian to fly the military banner at its highest peak. In 2009, he and his team attempted Mount Kilimanjaro for the second time, but had to abandon the quest for scaling the highest peak in Africa for survival of the team. As the team encountered a taste of nature's fury, the experience tagged the failed but successful mission has been an inspiration to many and has been published in a book titled My Escapes on Kindle, an Apple bookstore and Amazon. Kunle is a prolific public speaker and an accomplished author. He has graced the acclaimed TEDx platform and spoken on several for-profit corporate forum, non-profit charity events as well. Other publications from Kunle are The Great Thinkers and secondly, Winner Mindsets. All are available on Apple Bookstore, Amazon, and major bookstores around the world. Kunle is currently a member of the President-elect of Rotary Club of Ikoyi, Metro D9110 Lagos, and has been a member since 2006. Indeed, if I must say, he is truly the son of the soil. This speaks of his perseverance, this speaks of his tenacity, and this speaks of his valor. Indeed, Mr. Kunle Adeyanju is the lion heart and is the hero of our time. Please, a round of applause for him. Thank you very much. We'll be having now this minute the remarks by Mr. Kunle Adeyanju himself. Thank you very much.
I was just asking the MC that how do you cheer the students here? You know, because in ABU, where I graduated from, we say, great Abusat. So I was asking for Summit University so that I don't misfire, but instead I should say, greatest Nigerian student! All right, the Vice Chancellor, the Bossa, my uncle, members of the high table and everyone, and greatest Nigerian student. I want to say thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. I can tell you wherever you go, home is home. So for me, it's a good thing to come back to my roots, to my hometown. So, and it's also a great privilege, you know, to come here to speak to you people. I've been asked to share my experiences. And so, you know, it took me 41 days to complete the ride. So if I'm supposed to talk about everything for 41 days, that means we'll be here for 41 days. But because I don't want to keep you for 41 days, so I'm going to summarize and share a couple of interesting high moments and low moments with you. You know, because in life is up, life is down. So it's the combination of both that makes life interesting for everyone. So first, the point is, why did I choose to ride my bike from London to Lagos? Why did I do it? Why would anybody want to expose his life to, you know, an adventure that is fraught with risk, that you could come out dead, that, you know, there is high probability for everything to go wrong, and you know something they call Murphy's Law. Murphy's Law is, there are some days in our lives when everything that can go wrong will go wrong. That's what they call Murphy's Law. And I can tell you, when you're on this kind of adventure, Murphy's Law happens all the time. Actually, every day. Every day, most things go wrong. And the only way to come out alive is to prevent, you know, those things that go wrong from becoming a disaster. And how do you do it? By planning. Now, going back to why did I do the ride? I didn't just wake up one day to say I want to ride my bike from Lagos to London. From London to Lagos, no. But by virtue of the kind of person I am, I like adventure, I like outdoor things that are outdoor, physical, challenging, tough. I like all those things like that. And I remember 3 years ago, when I rode my bicycle from Lagos to Ghana and back, It was challenging, it was tough. But when I completed it, I asked myself 3 years ago, what can I do again that is more challenging than this? That will stretch me so much more than riding a bicycle from Lagos to Ghana. Then I said, yes, why don't I ride a motorbike from London to Lagos? That is how the plan came by. That was 3 years ago. So there's something I call my bucket list. I call them the before I die thing. Before I die means those things you want to do, those things I've marked for myself that I want to do before I leave this earth. Before I go back to my maker, maybe when I'm 90, when I'm 100, I don't know how long I'm going to stay, when he's going to call me home. But I have a plan for my life. And I'm talking to you students, all of you. You need to have a plan for your life. You know, because a plan does two things for you. A plan not only tells you what you want to do, but a plan also tells you those things you don't want to do. So that if you know those things you don't want to do, you don't waste your time doing things you don't want to do. You can just focus on those things you want to do. That is why you must learn to plan. Now, after this came into my bucket list to say, okay, I'm going to do this, then I started planning. It took me 1 year to build the plan. So when I finally built the plan and I was sure that my plan was a smart plan, my plan will work, then I decided to say, okay, if I choose to hop on my bike and just ride, I will be selfish. How can I use my skills, my talent, my lifestyle to benefit the less privileged people? How can I use it to touch lives? How can I use it to solve some of the little problems in the world? How can I use it to, address some of these diseases, some of these challenges we have in the world, and benefit even children that I don't know? Then I decided to tie it to polio eradication. And I decided to ride the bike because I noticed that because Nigeria became polio certified free 3 years ago, a lot of people have started forgetting about polio. And we started having resurgency of polio in Africa because Malawi started having polio. And before you know it, it will get to Nigeria. So all the good work everybody has done over the years, in the last 30 years, will just go down the drain. Then I decided to waken everybody up that this danger, these challenges is still with us. That is why I chose polio. I target the right to polio on 2 initiatives. The first one is to create the awareness. I'm sure you all remember that some few months back, the federal government of Nigeria destroyed a lot of COVID vaccines because people didn't take them. And why didn't people take them? Because people have vaccine hesitancy. People were afraid. There's phobia for the vaccine. Now, if the hesitancy, the phobia is not addressed, no amount of money that you put to buy the vaccine, it won't make any difference. So, the first point is we need to intensify the awareness. So that's the first strategy of my grant. There has to be awareness so that we can break the issue of vaccine hesitancy, heighten the level of acceptance. The second one is we're going to raise funds. And all the funds that I'm raising goes to support polio. Not for me, I don't need it. Thank God for everything God has done for me. But it's to benefit the less privileged. It is to benefit the less privileged, and every donation goes to Rotary International. It doesn't come to me. Even if you ask me as I'm talking to you, how much have I been able to raise for polio, to fight polio, I don't know. And why don't I know? Because I don't have access to the account. The account is Rotary International account. Yes, they are going to tell me, because a lot of people who are supposed to provide that information are presently in Houston for the Rotary Convention. When they come back, they will tell me. I will know so that we can announce it to the world. But that's the way I want it to be because I don't want to. The money goes to support that initiative. So those are the 2 pivots that the initiative stood on. I started the ride on the 19th of April. I left London to Dover in France. Then from Dover to Calais in France. So I traversed through from London, United Kingdom, into France, into Spain, into Morocco. Then from Morocco to Mauritania, Mauritania to Senegal, Senegal to Mali, Mali to Burkina Faso, Burkina Faso to Côte d'Ivoire, then to Ghana, to Togo, then to Benin Republic, then Lagos. So I got to Lagos on the 29th of April. on my earlier plan, I decided to do, on the plan I have, the ride was supposed to take me 25 days. Actually, on my plan, it was 23 days. But I decided to add another 3 days just in case something happened. But the ride took me 41 days. So what happened? Because when I started the ride, and people begin to see how big, how impactful this can be, Rotary came in big into it. World Health Organization came into it. UNICEF came into it. And they started saying to me, sorry, you plan to spend maybe one night in Senegal. You need to stay for 3 nights. Or you need to stay 4 nights. You need to visit the World Health Organization. You need to visit the Minister of Health. You need to visit UNICEF. You need to go to the field and vaccinate those children. So because of all these other humanitarian tasks, it extended the ride. But if you ask me, is it okay? The answer is yes, because that's what I started to do in the first place. So for me, it was okay. Now, what are my key learnings from this ride? What is my takeout from this? Before I tell you my takeout, let me tell you some very difficult part of the ride. Let me focus majorly on the Sahara, because that's the most difficult part of the ride. You see, the Sahara is one of the most inhospitable places on earth. It is unfriendly to life. It doesn't support life. Actually, the thing on the Sahara is, the Sahara tries to kill you. It's there to kill you. And it doesn't forgive. You make a mistake on the Sahara, you may not go back home. Now, if you're on the Sahara, if the strong wind of the Sahara doesn't try to kill you, the sun will try to kill you. If the sun doesn't kill you, the heat will try to kill you. Because it dehydrates you, and once you're dehydrated, you start hallucinating. And once you start hallucinating, death is very close. So Sahara, and it's going to take you like 6 days to cross the Sahara. So now the question is, how did I survive the 6 days through the Sahara? Was it by prayer? The answer is no. Was it by luck? The answer is no. But by what? Planning. It took me 1 year to plan this trip. And what is this planning I'm talking about? You see, I took a map and I asked myself, I'm going to cover 12,000 kilometers. How many kilometers can I do in a day? And what kind of bike can I use? So I first identify the kind of bike I need. I can't take a bike that is overpowered. It will be a waste. I can't take a bike that's underpowered. It can't carry me through the Sahara. So I need just the right amount of power to take me through the Sahara. That is key number one. Then I need a bike that can give me a range. The range so that I can cover enough distance on the Sahara. Because if I don't have the range, I might do the Sahara in 10 days or in 15 days. And the longer you stay there, the more difficult it gets. Because the Sahara, everything is scarce. Water is scarce, food is scarce, fuel is scarce. Think of anything is scarce. So when you're on the Sahara, you need efficiency. Whatever it is you get, efficiency and effectiveness, that is what will take you to the Sahara. I'll give you an example. In choosing my bike, I need to consider the weight of the bike because I was going to ride on the sand. My bike weighs 190 kilos. Some bike which my friend came with weighed 269 kilos. Now, if I'm riding on the sand on the Sahara and I fall down on the sand, because if you ride on the sand, it's a common thing to fall down. So it's okay. You fall down, you get up. But when you fall down and 269 kilos is lying on your leg, how do you carry it? You can't carry it. You're going to be there. So I need to look for a weight that if I fall down, I can easily carry. So it's easier to carry 190 kilos than to carry 269 kilos. So you can even see weight, sizing of bike can determine the thin line between success and failure. My bike the tank capacity is 17 liters and it gives me 500 kilometers range. Some of my friends that came with their bike weighed 269 kilos. The tank capacity is 30 liters and it gives them 400 kilometers range. If they're on the Sahara, the bike can walk. So, the choice of what you need to do has to inform, it goes a long way to help your planning. Now, if I put my bike plus the reserve tank, it does 625 kilos. Now, so what I did was to take that 625 kilos, plug it on the map, to make sure that before I exhaust that 625 kilos, it lands me in a place where I can get services, where I can get water, I can get fuel, I can get food, I can get hotel. That is how detailed the plan can be. Because I tell you, if you fail to plan, you are planning to fail. That's just simple. And when you plan, your plan will not work 100%. That's a fact of life. It doesn't work 100%. But because you have planned well, when that plan doesn't work 100%, it will be very easy for you to adapt because you have planned well. So I'm talking to you today. I don't want to go too deep into the ride, but I'm telling you what you need as the future leaders of this country, that you need to start planning your life now. If you don't plan your life, you won't go anywhere. You won't go far. That's the truth. So start planning. Ask yourself, what do I want to do with my life in the next 5 years? You're a student. Some of you are in 200, 300, like the lady that spoke that she's in 200 level. It's not too early to plan for your life. I wasn't fortunate enough to have people to tell me this kind of thing when I was in 200 level. But now you are fortunate because I'm telling you. And because I know the impact of planning. I can tell you, I'm able to complete this ride. I was able to complete this ride because I planned. Because of planning. I was able to come out of it alive. I'm still standing here alive because I planned, not because I was lucky. I don't believe in luck. Because do you know what I call luck? Luck is preparation meeting opportunity. If you are not prepared, luck will come in front of you and you won't see it. That's the truth. But when you are prepared, because you are prepared, when that luck comes, you will realize it's a luck and you will use it and you will succeed. And when you succeed, people will call you lucky. But they won't remember that you have prepared and you have planned. A lot of people are here, a lot of people call Aliko Dangote lucky. They say because it's close to Babangida. The question is, was he the only one who knew Babangida there? So what about the others? Then he must have done something different from the others. So, yes, it's good to know people. Yes, it's good to have connection. But the key thing for you, how prepared are you to annex the opportunities of life? Are you even seeing the opportunities or you are blind to it? And what does education do to every one of us? I'm still a student. I'm still going to school. Why am I doing it? Do I need it to work? The answer is no. I work for myself. I don't need it. But why am I doing it? Why am I paying that money to go to school to get the education? Because education is like a light. It opens your eyes to possibilities. It lets you see what is available. It broadens your mind. It widens your horizon. That's what education does. And I was speaking to your Vice Chancellor when I was sitting there. He was telling me about the vision of the university. And I must tell you, your Vice Chancellor is there. I'm not just saying nice words, but when I read the brochure he gave me, I said that word 3 times, and I said impressive, impressive, impressive. So you are fortunate to be a student in this school. You are in a place where, based on what I saw in the brochure and the kind of skills you are being taught, those are the skills that will actually help you to be a global citizen. The skills that will help you to compete not only in Nigeria but in the global marketplace. So you are fortunate, you are lucky. You are in a good school. Now that you are in a place where let me call it a fertile land. If you don't grow to become a big tree, then it is your fault. Because You are in a place where you are being equipped with the skills you need to succeed in life. So it's up to you to annex it. So let me just share you some bit experience on the Sahara, so that it's not that I don't talk about the ride at all. I had a very challenging moment on the Sahara. I had what I call I experienced two major sandstorms on the Sahara and a minor one. The major sandstorm I had, the most difficult one of them lasted an hour, 40 minutes on the Sahara. Now, some of you who know what they call sandstorm, it's not common here. Okay, well, we have minor one when it's very windy. They call it Ichi. They call it Ichi. But I tell you, the one you see here, there is Ichi, is just wind blowing, it's not a storm. In fact, it's light wind blowing. You see, my body weight, I weigh 95 kilos. When I had the sandstorm on Sahara, the storm was like 4 kilometers away. I could see the storm coming far off, because the Sahara is very plain. You can see as far as your eyes can go. But do you know that the storm, even before getting to me, was lifting me 95 kilos off the ground? I was like floating. I had to hold on to my bike, and I was floating. I had to lie the bike down, then cling on to the bike. The bike weighs 190 kilos. So I held on to the bike together, burying my head under the bike. So, my weight plus the weight of the bike became one. So, which was like 300 kilos. That was why I was able to remain on the ground. The storm would have blown me away like a paper. Now, the Sahara is 45 degrees hot. So I was lying face down, chest down on 45 degrees heat. It was painful, but I couldn't get up. Because if I get up, there's a bigger danger up. So I was continuously being bumped. My face, my chest, everybody down, everywhere down for an hour, 40 minutes. That's the easy part. The storm was harsh. It comes with sand. The sand has this, brittle effect. It's brittle. It's like scratches. It tore some holes in my jacket. The effect of the sand. It was like, the way the sand was hitting my helmet, it was like when you have strong wind, the way it vibrates the roofing sheet and everything in the house. That is a minor one. So this was like somebody taking a sledgehammer and hitting my helmet continuously for 1 hour, 40 minutes. It disorients you. I was in that place for 1 hour, 40 minutes. It was the most harrowing moment of my life. Actually, the truth is, I thought I was going to die that day. I was just making peace with myself and with God. But after an hour, 40 minutes, the storm passed. Then I got up. It took quite a while to dust the sand off my body and everywhere. And when I finally did that, I took out my helmet. I couldn't use the helmet again because it was all scratched. The visor has marks. You can't even see anything. I took out my helmet, removed my air plug. And for the first time on the adventure, I started crying. I realized I was crying rather. Tears were streaming down my eyes. Now, if you ask me, was I crying because it was painful? The truth is, I don't know. But I think I was crying because I didn't die. Because sometimes you've done everything you can to keep you safe. You've done everything in your control to keep you safe. But there are some other things that are not in your control. Can you imagine, what if the storm has lifted a car from somewhere and dropped it on me where I was lying down? Or what if it has lifted a big stone and dropped it on my head? That is death. But when I was there, I thought about all those things because I've read about if you have sandstorm, how do you survive it? So when that happened, because I've read about it, part of my planning, when that problem came, I knew the best way to react. If I have not studied, if I have not planned, if I've experienced that storm, I probably would have acted the wrong way. That is how planning saved me. Not luck, but planning. So, like I tell everyone, the essential thing that took me out of this was planning. I don't want to take too much of your time because the VC has told me there will be opportunity for questions. So when you ask questions, also be able to tell you more about the ride, to answer your question and illustrate some vivid examples to you. But I'm going to say here is one takeaway I want you to go with this is this. In life, you have to plan. And remember this quote. I think it was by Miles Monroe, late Miles Monroe. He said, a plan not only tells you what you want to do, but a plan also tells you what you don't want to do. So if you don't plan, everything that comes your way will look like a right thing. There are so many good ideas there. But being able to say no to good ideas and be focused on that thing you want to do, they are one of the key recipes for success. So, great Nigerian students, you need to plan. So I implore every one of you, when you live here, it's never too late to do the right thing. It's never too late to start. So please go back and ask yourself a simple question. What do I want to do with my life in the next 5 years? And write it down. Don't think it in your head. You need to write down your plan. If you don't write down your plan, it is not a plan. Write it down. If you want to go further, stretch it. Where do I see myself in the next 10 years? Ask yourself that question. Write it down. A plan is a living document. You know, a living document changes. You can upgrade. You can update it. So it's okay, even if it's 2 sentences you can write. You can begin to update. And as you plan, you get better with planning. So, learn to plan. That is my keyword that I bring to you here. And I'm here today because I planned. So, and I want you to do the same thing. Thank you so much.
A round of applause for the man who had cheated death. Is I implore each and every one of you to stand up on your feet. The man who had cheated death all along more than 12,000 miles, and that is. Thank you very much for sharing your stories with us, and of course your adventures. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm seizing this opportunity to bring on board the man who believes beyond the 664 education and
mentioned that for his journey, it took him how many months to plan for it? How many months? Oṣù mélòó ni wọ́n fi plan? 12 months, àbí bẹ́ẹ̀ kọ́? Despite that, you will still have some challenges along the road. But tí o bá plan, kí ló máa ṣe o? Kò tiẹ̀ ní sí anything to fall back to. Ẹ jẹ́ àgbẹ̀ Ọlọ́run bá tóbi. Ẹ jẹ́ àgbẹ̀ Ọlọ́run bá tóbi sílẹ̀ kan. Ẹ jẹ́ àgbẹ̀ Ọlọ́run bá tóbi sílẹ̀ kan. Kí ló dé tí mo ṣe ní kágbẹ̀ Ọlọ́run bá tóbi? Wọ́n sọ kinní kan fún wa. Wọ́n ní if no be Panadol can never be what? Panadol. Wọ́n ní kinní táwa ń rí tó ń jà tá à ń pè ní ìjì. Tó jẹ́ pé a gbọ́ ní ìtàn yìí pé tí ìjì ti ilẹ̀ tiwa tí ò tó nǹkan tó bá gbẹ̀yàn lọ, ó lè gbẹ̀yàn lọ nígbà míì fún ọdún 7. Wọ́n wá sọ wípé fake nìyẹn o, wípé Taiwan nìyẹn kò ṣe original. Wọ́n ní China ní àbí bẹ́ẹ̀ kọ́? Wọ́n ní bàrúfù nìyẹn. Wọ́n ní kíni o? Bàrúfù nìyẹn. Wọ́n ní àwọn rí ibi tí ìjì ti ṣe kíni tó ti jà tó jẹ́ pé 4 kilometers away wọ́n ṣe kíni o? Wọ́n tún wá ní pé 200 kilograms sí pé kékeré ni ó lè gbé ni. Tí ó lè ní ìbáwá wà níbẹ̀ kí ló bá ṣẹlẹ̀? Kí ló bá ṣẹlẹ̀? Èmi àti báìkì kí ló bá ṣẹlẹ̀? Okay. Let me show us an example of what he has told us. He has told us that if anything is there and it's just like this, if you know it, can you see it flying away? That's exactly. But with a well-fortified weight and the rest, at least you stand a chance. Are you with me? So ìdí nìyẹn ló ṣe sọ pé Ọlọ́run ọba ò dán wa wò ní bí àwa là ń ṣe kí ni o là ń dán ra wa wò. wọ́n tún wá sọ yí pé táwa bá wókè báyìí á sọ òrùn ìmúlẹ̀ ni òrùn ìmúlẹ̀ ni wọ́n ní kí ni o fẹ́ẹ̀kì nìyẹn pé ẹ̀ tí ì débi kí ni o tóòrùn ti mú tó jẹ́ pé tẹ́ bá fẹ́ ṣe ẹyin ẹ̀ ní ìdè àti dáná ẹ̀ kàn gbé síwájú ìta ní báyìí ó máa ṣe kí ni o ó máa sè so he has experienced it that's why I say ká ṣe kí ni o ká gbọ́ lọ́wọ́ bá tóbi Allah Akbar all those things that our own challenges they are more or less man-made he mentioned it that ẹni Ṣàngó bá tójú ẹ̀jà kò ní ṣe kí ni kò ní ṣe kí ni àwọn ti rí bí tí ìjì ti ń jà wọ́n ti rí nǹkan tó ń sọ pé ilẹ̀ ń gbóná 45 centigrade Indomie àti jìnnà àbí bẹ́ẹ̀ kọ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ bá fẹ́ po Milo tí ó gbóná ní ọwọ́ alẹ́ kò kí n tó 45 àbí bẹ́ẹ̀ kọ́ so you can imagine putting that type of temperature and the rest but he also mentioned one thing after táwọn plan ìtàn kí ló wá ṣẹlẹ̀ o àwọn èèyàn wá gbà á wọ́n gbé lárugẹ so what I want us to learn from that is that if you don't have what you plan for or your vision nothing so nothing will ever work nothing will what will ever work so the vision is important and ìgbà táwọn plan ìgbà náà ní other agencies náà ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ wá ṣe kíni náà ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ wá gbà ààrẹ akínyìn o adúpẹ́ fún experience ti ẹ̀ ṣíà so on behalf of myself and the students we thank you for that experience sharing a round of applause. However, ahead of that someone have asked for approval to award you one of our highly esteemed awards. So we are going to do that after this. And apart from that, on behalf of myself and the management of the university, we are also going to ask for more like Oliver Twist. And I will be talking about that. So now it's now time for question and answer. And now I'm going to moderate that.
Kept me going. It's very simple. I've said to myself when I started the ride, and actually that's where I live my life, I don't quit. If I start something, I tell you, I will die trying. I won't quit. And it's that never dying attitude that has kept me to where I am today. You see, when you're doing things in life, challenges will come. Sometimes all the voices around you, everything, all the muscles in your body will be telling you to quit. If you quit, you will not be remembered. Do you know if I quit the journey, you know I won't be here today? Tell me, what will I be telling you? How to start a mission and fail? Is that what I will be telling you? But I'm talking to you and you are listening to me today because I didn't quit. And you know, I realize that everything you do in life, if you have that never dying attitude, and you say to yourself, to me, you say for me, it's either sink or swim. I die or I swim. And you find that you will swim because you will develop the incredible coping skills. That's the way the mind works. So if you say to yourself, anytime you're doing anything, I'm not going to quit. I bet you the universe will cooperate with you and you will win. It's just a simple fact of life. You know, they say obstacles are not there to stop everyone, but they are only there to stop people who don't really want it. You know, it's like a filter. It's a barrier to remove, you know, the lagger, the weak-minded people. Only the strong-minded people can get it. So that's what kept me going, because I resolved that whatever it takes, I'm going to give it. Any health challenges post the adventure? Will I say yes? Yeah, I won't call it an health challenges, but is it that I have some, I did a comprehensive medical check. That was on Tuesday. One of the premium health agency in Lagos gave me a complimentary care. I went there, they did a full scan. They have a very brilliant, very beautiful, the facility was good, very beautiful environment. They gave me a full scan, checked everything. Everything was okay. But I had low vitamin D. Now, why do I have low vitamin D? You know, for 41 days, I wore my jacket, and I wore my hand gloves, and I wore my helmet. So my body was actually protected from direct sunlight. When you are not exposed to direct sunlight, even if you are standing in the sun, you are not getting vitamin D. So, and what is the simple cure for that? Since I got to Lagos, since I got to my house, most time in the morning, if I'm not going anywhere, or early morning, I just wear a short knicker without any top and I lie down in the sun. That's the simple cure. So basically when you do things like this and you have the whole of your body covered, you will have low vitamin D. And it's not a disease, but you know, your immunity drops. And the only way you do is just get your vitamin D back and you're going to be okay. Any unexpected challenges? The answer is there are so many. I mean, if you look at life, how can I expect to cover 12,000 kilometers and there will be unexpected challenges? You can't plan everything. And I think I remember when I was telling you that in my presentation to you that, but because you have planned well, your plan will not work very well, will not work 100%. But because you have planned well, it will be easier for you to adapt. There were unexpected challenges. One of them was when I lost my rear tire in Mali. It was in a game reserve where there are lions, there are hyenas, there are cheetahs, and it was now about 9 p.m. in the night. I didn't expect I would get stuck in a game reserve with animal, with lion around me and cheetah in the night when I can't do anything. So they were unexpected. There will be. It's normal. It's a fact of life. But the thing is, because you have planned well, you have prepared well, when they happen, your survival instincts will kick in. You know, as a matter of fact, like when that happened to me, you know, like every second matter. Because what if a lion is there? I can see it. So, you know, those kind of things, you don't think. Your training just comes in. You know, it's survival instinct. Your training just comes, you just act. That's how it works. How did I answer the call of nature in the desert? Okay, you see, one thing is, in the desert, right, you know, because the environment is so hot, you know, it's because you have fluid in your body. That is why you say, oh, I'm pressed, I want to go and urinate. Because you can't sweat it out. But when the Sahara has dried everything from your body, what will you urinate? Nothing. So actually, when I was there on the Sahara, I tell you, someday I only pee once, and it's even half pee. What I would call half pee, not a full one. But you know, like I told you in the planning, I make sure that my plan, where I start from and where I'm going to end the ride, lands me in a place where there is a hotel. I can get water, I can get all those services like water, food, you know, hotel, and fuel for my bike. So usually, if I have a hotel, you know, I can do whatever I want to do. Identify possible challenges. Yes, you have to. And this is where foresight comes in. You need to have foresight. If you want to go from Offa to Ilorin, there are so many things you can think. You can predict what will happen and what you're likely to face. There is pothole on the way. Okay, maybe we'll leave here in the next maybe 30 minutes or so. Visibility, maybe it might become dark. Visibility will be bad. The road is not so okay, there are potholes. We were coming, yes, because we were coming, maybe let's assume we were moving at maybe 140, 150. Because visibility is dark, we can't do the same thing. We're going to drop our speed because if you move the same way, it's an accident waiting to happen. So you can predict, you can foresee challenges in front of you and you plan accordingly. Okay, somebody asked me about water crossing. Yes, how did I cross the Mediterranean Sea? The fact is there are 3 water crossings if you're coming in from London to Offa, not to Lagos but to Offa. Okay? There are 3 water crossings. The first one is the English Channel. You need to cross that. Okay? That's between Dover, United Kingdom, and Calais in France. The second water crossing is the Mediterranean Sea. You know, where you cross from either Tarifa or Algeciras around Gibraltar into Tangier in Morocco. Then the third one is there's a water crossing between Rosso in Mauritania and Saint Louis in Senegal. Now the first one, that's the English Channel. There are 2 ways you can cross it. You can use the Eurotunnel, which is a tunnel under the sea. That's 35 minutes. And you put your bike or your car on a train and and the train carries you across. Or the other one, you can use the ferry. The ferry is an hour 30 minutes, so it's either one you like. So I use the ferry because I don't want to be inside. Well, I've done the hole several times. I've done the tunnel. It's just a hole underground. You don't see anything. Well, I've done the Euro tunnel several times, but I wasn't in a hurry, so I just said, let me do the ferry. Because the ferry, you can go to the observation deck and you can see the sky, you can see the water and everything. The second one is that's crossing the Mediterranean Sea via the Strait of Gibraltar into Tangier, Morocco from Algeciras. That one, there is no tunnel. It's just ferry. And the ferry there is 40 minutes. 40 minutes crossing. The last one is between Rosso in Mauritania and Assembly in Senegal. That's 5 minutes. It's very short. Actually, if you stand in Assembly, Rosso, you'll be looking at Assembly. Good swimmer can swim it, but because there are crocodiles, you can't swim it in those waters. So those are the 3 water crossings along the way. Language barrier. As a matter of fact, it was a very big problem that I now realize on the right. Like I thought, like you can plan for everything, but like I said, I told you, there are some things you will miss in your plan because nothing is ever perfect. I never thought language would be a major problem for me when I was starting. I said, okay, I have Google Translate. I can always use Google Translate to do it. But I tell you, if everything is okay, and the people cooperate with you, or they are willing to help you, Google Translate will work. But when you have people who are angry that you can't speak their language and they don't want to speak with you, I tell you, Google Translate is limited. They won't even listen to you. So, in Morocco, most people speak English, or it's French. But one thing I realized is, do you know that from Morocco down to Lagos, down to Benin Republic, with the exception of Ghana, everything is French. All those countries are French. In fact, when I came, I said, once I settle down, I'm going to register an Alliance Française. I want to speak French. Most of the border that I had challenges, I had to hire an interpreter. I didn't plan it, but because I knew I wasn't getting anywhere with Google Translate, I had to start calling for interpreter ahead. So I was speaking to the Rotarians in those countries that I was going into. So the Rotarians will organize an interpreter for me, which I pay. So it's part of those expenses I didn't plan for, but if I don't put the interpreter, I won't be able to cross because, sometimes the French guys are like angry, you can't speak here, and they don't want to listen. They just pretend like they don't understand it. You just stay there and get stranded. So language was a barrier, was a big barrier for me. Yeah, somebody asked that I was hearing voices in the desert. The answer is yes. You will hear voices in the desert. Actually, I'll tell you that I think was it 2 or 3 years ago, there was one time when some Libyan returnees in Nigeria were brought into the airport in Lagos, and the president interviewed some of the ladies there, and the ladies were saying they had spirit in the desert and they saw spirit in the desert. And I was just laughing that these people are just like, they don't know what. I said, okay, they should. I said, if you are saying spirit, describe what the spirit looks like. And if you have heard from spirit, tell us what the spirit said. So I don't believe in things like that. But I tell you, when I got on the Sahara, I heard voices. But I wouldn't say they are spirits talking. But I heard voices and there were nobody there. Now, what happened was, I just got to a stretch of the Sahara, and I just said, oh, I want to make a video here. It was tough, but I just want to have a record of, like a documented record that I passed through this place. I don't want to be there, I just tell people by mouth that I passed through Sahara. I want people to see. And I tell you, why do everybody, the CEO of Twitter, he sent me a chat, a congratulatory message. And what did he say? He said, this is the most documented adventure they have ever experienced. And everybody believed me. Everybody connected to it because they read it and they saw it. Do you know, if I just told them alone, some people would still doubt. So I just said, let me make this video. It's a documentary evidence, and also it tells people to, connect more to it. So I got off from my bike. It was a risky thing to do, but I just needed that. I needed that video even for me, because I know I'm going to make a movie out of it. There will be a documentary. I can't just tell story in the documentary. I have to show people. So I got off, took out my helmet, removed my earplug, then I started hearing voices. Then, I turned. I didn't see anybody. I turned again. And the voices kept coming. I know the Sahara is plain, is flat. You can see, like, if your eyes can see 50 kilometers, you will see. And I couldn't hear anybody, and I was just hearing the voices. And the voices were not clear like my voices. But like, if wind is blowing fast, there is this whistling sound. So imagine that whistling sound of the wind plus my voice muffled together. It's like distorted. You want to sound like a spirit. Well, I don't know what a spirit sounds like, but it wants to sound something mystical. And I started hearing that. At first, I was a bit, like, disturbed. I wanted to get on my bike. I better forget this video. But I said, come on, hold on, think. Come on, you are not this kind of person. Calm down, think. Then I started looking. I didn't see anyone. Then I just thought about it for a while. Then I started laughing. I was laughing because I realized what happened. Because the Sahara is plain. And the wind on the Sahara travels at very great speed. So somebody speaking from like Ibadan, the wind carries the sound waves to you. Plus the whistling sound of the wind. So you will hear it clearly, but you wouldn't see them because they're like 200 kilometers away. So when people hear that, they keep saying they don't see people. They say it's spirit, but it's just science. It's not spirit. And also, you didn't ask this, the lady that asked this, I think it's you, right? You didn't ask this, but people also say they saw spirits. You will see a mirage, you will hallucinate, but it's not spirit. It happened to me. You see, when you get on the Sahara, you get easily dehydrated. I think I didn't follow my training. I forgot my training. And when you're on this kind of expedition, your training is, don't wait till you are thirsty before you drink. Every 10 kilometers, just take a sip and moisten your lips. It will deceive your brain that you are still hydrated. So your water ration will last long. But if you wait till you get thirsty before you drink, you will exhaust your ration. Then once you exhaust your ration, you don't get any. Hallucination sets in. So that day, because I was on the Mauritanian side, it was terribly hot than the Moroccan side. In Morocco, you get like 45, 46 degrees. Mauritania, you are getting 54. So it was terribly hot. So I was just drinking. By the time I realized it, I have less than half a liter left. And I just did 200 kilometers out of 650 kilos. Then, so when I realized my training kicked in, when I realized I was low on water. But then, like, it was too late. My reaction was too late. Then I ran out of water. My water finished. Then I realized as I was riding, far ahead, I would see somebody walking towards me. And when I get there, I won't see the person again. The first one happened. And I did, like, you shake your head, like, like this. I continued again. I saw it the second time. Then it just occurred to me what happened. What happened was that I was dehydrated. Then I started hallucinating. So my brain is deceiving me. And at that time, at that level, when you experience that, it means you are not thinking straight. What I'm seeing is not, what my brain is telling me is not what is there. My reflexes are slowed. So when I just come, I said, okay, look, you need to drop your speed. I was like maybe on 120, 140 before. I had to drop to like 40 kilometers an hour because my reflexes were not coordinated. What I'm seeing is not the real thing. I would think I'm seeing the right thing, but I know my brain was deceived because I was hallucinating. Luckily, I think the universe spoke for me. I just saw some, after like about say, going through that for like say like another 50 kilos, I just saw some white guys who are in their Land Rover. They are doing desert safari in their Land Rover. And I just parked beside them. I walked up to them and I told them I had a problem. And they said, yes, they know. They gave me 2 bottles of water, 1.5 liter, 2. I finished 1.5 liter standing. Then the other one, I put it back in my hydration pack. I wanted to continue. The guy said, no, you can't go, just stay. The man made me to stay there for like 20, 25 minutes. He was talking to me, kept talking to me. So when he realized everything was okay, he said, now you are ready to go. He now told me that when I came to them, that I couldn't even speak straight. I was saying, my speech was slurred. The man said, if you had continued for maybe another 5 kilometers or 10 kilometers, you will have had an accident. So, sometimes universe just come to help you. But first, you must help yourself before. There's a proverb in Yoruba, something like that. So there's something like that. So you have to ship out before they get you. Okay, yeah, somebody asked me that I did a very long ride. Okay, of about 1,200 kilos. That how did I cope? Actually, that wasn't in the plan at all. But that happened. So that means this person actually reads my tweet all the time. It happened because there was this time, because of the extreme heat of the Sahara, I was on the Moroccan side. Because of the extreme heat, I normally set out like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock in the morning. Just, wait for the day to clear and very well before I move in. But because of the extreme heat, and when you check the temperature I have a thermometer, so I have to check the temperature of the tarmac in the afternoon. So when I check, that will determine the kind of speed I can move. If the temperature is 45, I can't put the bike on 150. I will burn the tires. When the temperature is 54, like Mauritania, I can't do more than 80. I will burn the tires. And motorcycle, you don't have a spare. If you burn the tire, you are dead. And if you are stranded, death is coming. So it's all part of that planning. You need to think, you need to act, do the right thing. You do the wrong thing, you may not come back home. It's like that. The Sahara is unforgiving. So this day, because of the heat of the Sahara, I changed my takeoff time. So instead of like 8:39 that I take off every morning, I decided to leave 4 a.m. because the heat was really uncomfortable. You can't move. You are there for a longer period. You get dehydrated. Because when it gets hot, you can't speed much. And you stay longer in the heat, you get dehydrated. You exhaust your water ration. You are hungry. You are not recovered well for the next day, right? So it becomes more difficult. So I reversed my time to 4:30, 4 a.m. So that day I took off 4 a.m. And, by 12, I already finished the ride of the day. I already got to my destination. And I said, but wait, how can I go back to the hotel 12 o'clock? What will I be doing? I already got to the place I planned to spend the night. And I said, no, I can't just sit 12. Let me push it halfway. What I'm going to do tomorrow, let me do half of it. Then if I do another 1.5, then I'll cut 1 day off my ride. So that was the plan. So I checked the map, because that wasn't in my plan before. So I just checked the map, and I saw a village called Elagorud. I read about it. Yes, I checked, there were hotels there. I checked everything on the map. Okay. So I said, okay, let me push it to Elagorud. So I already did 680 kilometers that day. And I said, okay, I checked Elagorud. And Elagorud was 400 kilos. I said, okay, I can do, no, it was 3 something. I said, okay, I can do 400 kilos. By the time I do that, maybe I'll get there like 6 or 7. Okay, that's fine. 6, okay, that's fine. I rode on, I continued. I got to Elagorud. I got there earlier, I think about 5:30 or so. And I got there were no hotels in the village. There was an old hotel that closed 2 years before. But on the map, it showed me there was a hotel there. Now, and I got to that village, there were like maybe 12 houses there. Nowhere to stay. Luckily, there was a service station. I got fuel. I was able to buy water. Then I was able to buy banana. So I ate. And I asked them, where is the next place in town I can get a hotel? They said I should go to El Gararat. El Gararat was 350 kilometers away. I had no choice. So I mounted my bike again. I pushed it. I got to El Gararat. I was tired. That time I already did 1,000+ kilometers. And I got to the hotel. The hotel wasn't okay. But that time, even if you give me ordinary floor, I was ready to take it. There's something you don't care anything. Just let me have something. And I got there. I was about to pay for the hotel. Then I was standing in front of the receptionist. I brought out my cash. I was trying to pay. Then, like facing this way, I just looked through the window. Then I saw economic migrant. This illegal, well, I won't call them illegal because I don't know whether they're legal, but let me use the word economic migrants. All these migrants trying to go to Europe. And I saw them, like 150 of them at the back of the hotel, sitting there. And I just said to myself, if you stay here in the night, you will have problem. Yes, in the afternoon, in the evening now, police are still around, but police won't stay here all through the night. They will go. And if I'm with these people, there may be problem. Then I asked again, where is the place? I just said I can't stay here. And I said, where is the place I can get the nearest hotel? They said I need to cross to Luandibo in Mauritania. Then I said, well, it was at the border. I said, how many kilos? They said 68 kilometers. I said, okay. So I proceeded, I got to Luandibo. So that day, I ended up riding about 1,200 and maybe 50 or 80 kilos. Okay, and the last part, somebody asked, did I see any scary animal on the way? The answer is, you can't pass through the savannah, the game reserve, there are game reserve on the way, and not see a scary animal. I saw lion on the way. And I saw several monkeys. But monkeys tend to be more dangerous than the lion. That was the mistake I made. Because I knew I was going to be riding through a game reserve. And when they told me this road, it's a 250 kilometers, it passes through a game reserve, I was really worried. So they told me there are lions there. And actually the Senegalese government forbids anybody from going into that game reserve by 6 p.m. You can't go there. You can't enter that road. Because from 6, when the temperature is down, wild lions, you see them everywhere on the road. Even if you're in a car, you can't go in by 6. And if you're in the park, you must leave by 6. Before 6, you must have exited the park. And so I got the number of some game reserves. So I called the guy that, at the entrance of the park was in a town called Tambakunda. That was where I was staying. So they connected me to one of the game reserve park rangers. So I called the park rangers to come to the hotel, that I want to have a chat with him. So the guy came, I was now asking him to tell me about the park, the animals there, how the lions and all that. And he told me that, yes, 6, you can't be there. But even in the morning sometimes, they have seen lions on the road. And even in the afternoon, some lions still come to the road. That night was really disturbing for me because, they call me lion, but the truth is I don't want to face a real lion. Honestly, I won't want to face a real lion. I tell you, we've all seen lion in the TV. But when you see lion the way I'm looking at you, it's totally different from what you see in the TV. You see the animal. There's no fat, it's full muscles. It's scary if you see a lion, it's scary. Eye to eye. That night, it was difficult for me to sleep. I had to bring up my computer and I started reading, how do lions attack people? Then so I discovered that a lion is a side chaser. Side chaser means a lion doesn't attack you head to head. A lion likes to sprint with you, then outflank you. And they said at top speed, a lion can outflank you. So it occurred to me that even if I see the lion, if I try to turn, you are dead. Because the lion is more maneuverable than me. At 50 kilometers an hour, you can't do a 90 degrees bend on the bike, you're going down. But at lion top speed, the lion can do that sharp bend and it will still go on. So I said in terms of maneuverability, forget it. If you try it, if you see a lion, you get scared, you want to turn back, you're dead. Then I said, okay, I went online again to check. What is the maximum speed of a lion? Then I saw that the maximum speed of a lion was 80 kilometers an hour. Then that time I smiled. Because my bike can do 200. I came up with a plan, and I said to myself, if you are going to survive this, your strategy is speed. Nothing more than that, speed. And I said to myself, and I asked the park ranger, how is the road? He said the road has too many sharp bends, that the bend was too much. And I just said to myself that no matter how sharp the bend is, or was rather, my speed cannot be less than 130 or 120 kilometers an hour. I have to be at least 30 kilometers above the speed of the maximum speed of a lion, so that even if I see a lion, before the lion reacts, I'm already gone. And I can't be scared, I can't be afraid. Because if you're afraid, you lose composure, you fall down. Where are you going? You are meal, you are lunch for the lion. So I made up my mind. And when I entered that road, that's exactly what I saw. And when I saw the lion didn't even move. Because I saw the lion, I was boom, off. And I got to some point on the road, because like the road was winding, and because I said I wasn't going to drop my speed. Do you know there are times when the bike was like almost 60 degrees lying this way. But because I was coming in too fast, I didn't want to slow down. In fact, I ask myself sometimes, am I that skillful on a bike? But the point is, to every problem in this world, there is a solution. All you need to do is think. Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kunle Adeyanju. I've been sitting beside his mom all along while he gave the speech, and all I could hear was "lo batan," and every other words. Indeed, if you were to be a little child, it wouldn't have allowed you to leave the comfort of your homes. Thank you very much for sharing your experience with us. Moving on is the presentation of awards and souvenirs by the management of Summit University, Offa.
Thanks a lot. Yeah, just to take the last two items, we have just my whole remarks. I just want us to learn one thing. Láti ọ̀rọ̀ tí wọ́n sọ. He emphasized one thing: knowledge. Ìyẹn ló fà á táwọn bàbá wa fi máa ń sọ pé ìmọ̀ ló làdínì. Ọgbọ́n ò ṣe kíni? Ìmọ̀ ló ṣe kíni? Ọgbọ́n ò ṣe kíni? Ọgbọ́n ò gbé. If not with knowledge, we would not have been able to overcome some of the challenges faced while on that adventure. So, Ààrẹ Akínyó, Aku oríire náà. As per Summit University, you also mentioned some of the skills, and that's what we are championing at the level of Summit University. We have our vision, 7-point agenda, and on top of it is what he calls skills. You could hear him talking about skills, and you observe how he was able to tell his own story. So we have 7 skills, sir, that we are championing here. The first one has to do with financial literacy skill. Afẹ́jẹ́ how to establish business and manage our funds. The second one has to do with clean and renewable energy. While the third one has to do with family and leadership skill. And the fourth one has to do with artificial intelligence and ICT skill. And the fifth one has to do with what is called acadopreneurship. Acadopreneurship is just how do we turn our academic ideas into business ventures. And the sixth one has to do with what is called history, heritage, and storytelling. So you could observe how he was able to share his own experience. And the last one has to do with what is called Islam and global citizenship. You could hear him mentioning how he was able to move and meet different culture. So that is what that one is all about. And those 7 skills are part of what we are championing here at Summit University of Offa. The registrar have said it that you should try as much as possible enroll your children with us, and we are assuring you that you will never regret doing so. So skills is important, or they are so much important to us. Now, to the last part of today's activity, award. So, first of all, before the award, sir, I hear that you are presently running your PhD in business and banking, finance related. So, at the level of summit, we want to offer you honorary lecturership position at our department. So the registrar of the university will get across to you with our letter of appointment to the Department of Economics and Banking and Finance in this university. So the registrar, sir, also the officer Bello asked for my approval for the award of Supreme Ambassador for your. So the registrar has printed the certificate. Can you bring it here and let's do the joint presentation? Ààrẹ Aniyi Kaye of Offa land, can you please stand up here? Tekbirullah. Tekbirullah.
Praise the Lord.
Sir, come in. So, on behalf of Summit Public Speaking, Scrabble Interaction and Debate Alliance, SUMSIDA, we hereby appoint you as our Supreme Ambassador in recognition of your tremendous contribution to nation building and advancement locally and internationally. Thanks a lot. So,